I'm bringing some of the wisest, successful, most inspirational human beings on this planet into your classrooms for your benefit.
You gotta know what it is that you want and speak up.
You never know when the days could stop counting. That's when you make them count.
These are the answers, the blueprints, anything you want, I'm providing them to you. I have this heart that bleeds for the youth of this country because we need to learn to lead. We need to elevate ourselves. That's how this world changes. It starts with you.
There's some people, we problems. Like I was a problem kid, but it was stuff going on. Ask me, what's going on with you? How can I help you?
We took a trip to Austin, Texas to meet with Mark Henry, world's strongest man and WWE superstar.
Full name, Mark Gerard Henry. Nobody's ever called me Gerard.
Mark may seem like a tough guy, but his life didn't start out with championship belts and world titles. Outside of the classrooms, Mark had a fair share of trouble. His parents divorced when he was young, his dad passed away when he was 12, and Mark gained a reputation for being a bit violent.
Getting kicked out of school for fighting. They wasn't gonna allow me to come back to school without getting help. I had teachers that weren't good, that told me I needed to quit school and get a job, and I was wasting my time, which was motivation for me. I've always been that guy that when everything was stacked against me, that's when I was at my best. Having a strong mother was a big part of it. I didn't want to disappoint her. When I saw her cry when I went to juvie, that was the worst thing that ever happened to me in my life.
It was during this time that Mark truly found his love for weightlifting, something he could excel in, and a community that really helped him outside of what was offered at his school.
Weightlifting was my escape. I wanted to push myself every day. Other kids in my neighborhood would see me lifting and they, what you doing? And I'm like, lifting weights. So my yard ended up becoming a gym. It kept us out of trouble and we challenged and pushed each other. Having something that you can identify with means a lot when you're a kid and you feel like everything else is stacked up against you. Man, I just felt like I was in another world. In East Texas, there's a saying that a closed mouth won't get fed. You gotta know what it is that you want and speak up. Acknowledge the fact that this is something I wanna be a part of. Weightlifting was that, and powerlifting and strongman. That was it for me.
As a high school senior, Mark was called the world's strongest teenager by the LA Times.
With state and national records in all 4 powerlifting categories.
Eventually, he went on to compete in the Olympics and became the world's strongest man.
I'm the only person to ever win a world title in powerlifting, weightlifting, and strongman. Having a 412 snatch and a 522 clean and jerk was the most that anybody ever lifted on earth.
Unfortunately, the sport was riddled with drugs, like steroids. And after the '96 Olympics, Mark decided to retire from the sport until it cleaned up.
I take a lot of pride in the fact that I did all those sports drug-free. I never took anything. Like, people actually love the fact that I am that guy. I think that it shows them that it can be done. I had people like Bryant Gumbel asking me, why is he crying about the other people taking drugs? What do you mean, why am I crying that the other people are taking drugs? They're cheating.
As Mark can tell you, not only did it tarnish the reputation of the sport, some of his fellow competitors actually died from complications of the drug use.
I've seen the negative effect that drug has had on really good athletes. I've seen guys like tear their bodies up and mess their minds up. I've seen people on the street homeless. They can't keep a job. 23 with a new baby, 6-month-old baby, dead. And boy, when I got that news, it just, man, it's like you don't need it. Like, you don't need it.
Once he retired from professional weightlifting, Mark joined the ranks of his childhood hero, Andre the Giant, and became a professional wrestler.
I've been watching wrestling and being around wrestling since I was 8. I was able to be world champion in a sport that I was a little kid and a fan of.
Mark wrestled 21 years consecutively in the WWE. He has made a career following his passion, doing what he loved, and working hard for it.
I've let kids know that I ain't perfect, far from it. But the one thing that I had that other people always wanted to quantify and ask me, man, where did you get that from? Was desire and passion to not fail. You know, let's not cry and whine and moan and complain about the situation. Let's change it. How can we change it? Half of it is showing up. The other half is how much work you're willing to put in to make it happen. And I ain't got nothing else to do. Let's go to work.
Mark had so many people help him in his career, including his family, college coaches, world-class trainers, even The Rock and Vince McMahon.
There's very few people walking this planet that was able to create and do it from ground zero on their own. Like, we all had some inspiration, some kind of motivation, somebody that was behind us, pushing us when we got weak and didn't know how to get to it.
Now he has shifted his focus away from the ring into a community program called Explore Austin. Explore Austin equips underserved youth to make positive life choices. They provide them with leadership training, mentoring, and outdoor exercises to give them the tools they need to succeed.
It's really providing an awesome bridge for mentorship and leadership in the lives of underserved youth here in the Austin community. It's an opportunity to get involved to create something for a family where a family has never had an opportunity.
Having the opportunity to be away from home sometimes, you have some stress, and just to get away from that and not worry about it for a week is pretty cool.
Mentors and role models, they believe in you when you don't. Mark's a perfect role model. He comes and he encourages all of our explorers. People want to help, they want to share, and they want a receptive audience to do that. Find a role model, find a mentor, find somebody that has gone where you want to go. We've got a group of 2020 graduating girls and their mentors coming back from a 7-day mountain biking trip. So they've been building self-efficacy, belief in themselves that they can do more than they thought they could do. They've been building grit, perseverance, sticking to it. And they've been developing social capital with themselves, their peers, and with their mentors and their guides. They literally have been on bikes for 7 days, and Mark's gonna come back and he's gonna welcome them home and welcome them back in to Austin.
We should aspire to excellence at all costs. It would be a crime if I didn't push them to do better than I did. I just want to see people that I love have more than they would have had without me.
Mark is a true example of somebody who through will and determination was able to achieve their dreams. If you could do anything in this world, what would you do? What sacrifices would you make to do it? How would you achieve it? What actions are you taking every day to get there? Just think of one goal that you could set today, right here for yourself, that could set you on that path to your dream.